Part, that's right. It's a really vital part of all of our mornings, and it's a day that, of course, we say hello to Charlie Gibson, who will be my new partner in the morning. Do you know what exactly the show is? What number? You've
No,
done
I don't.
what?
It's somewhere between 25. No, somewhere between for me between 2,500 and 3,000. But I haven't counted. But now that you mention it,
he has to.
Moving along, I am going to be talking in the next couple of hours to just a few of the important guests who have joined us over the years. Henry Kissinger will be with us, Chuck Yeager, General Chuck Yeager, Joe Engel, astronaut, test pilot, Willie Stargell, great baseball player, and former presidents Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford will be with us.
We got the count. 3189.
3189?
You thought it was between, it's a little over.
Over 3,000.
You're having such a good time, they just whizzed by. We are also going to take a look back at some really wonderful moments from the past 11 years, and we hope you'll share this very special day with us.
First, though, as always, at a minute after 7, Jed Duval and Washington with all the news. Hi, Jed. Good morning.
Good morning, David. Joan. The Tower Commission reportedly has uncovered new evidence about a White House effort to cover up President Reagan's role in initiating arms sales to Iran. Published reports say that former National Security Advisor Robert McFarlane told the panel yesterday that he helped draft a purposely misleading White House document. The document described how President Reagan could plausibly deny giving prior approval to Iran arms sales. More on the investigation now from Bob Zelnick.
Members of the Tower Commission Thursday spent about 3 hours questioning McFarlane at Bethesda Naval Hospital, where he's recovering from last week's suicide attempt. McFarlane has acknowledged contributing to a chronology of the Iran affair prepared by Oliver North, which stressed the strategic objectives of the arms deal while leaving out details showing the real objective was to gain the release of U.S. hostages. Sources describe the chronology as a political rather than legal cover-up. Commission sources say there's conclusive evidence about the arms for hostages nature of the deal, including efforts by former CIA Director William Casey to have NSC colleagues get the hostages out by early November in order to assist the president's political efforts on behalf of Republican congressional candidates. Commission sources say the final Tower report will make no finding as to whether President Reagan did or did not give prior approval to the August 1985 Israeli transfer of American-made TOW anti-tank missiles to Iran. McFarlane has testified under oath that the president gave such approval, while Chief of Staff Don Regan has sworn he did not. In 2 separate appearances before the commission, the president first supported McFarlane's version and then Regan's.
Commission sources say they believe McFarlane, not Regan. Without presidential approval, they reason McFarlane himself would never have told the Israelis to proceed with the arms shipment. Jed?
Bob, what happens now? The Tower Commission is worried about what, mostly? The legal aspects?
No, I think there are legal questions, but the Tower Commission is worried most about how the president ran the NSC. And what they say is a president aloof from events, manipulated by key aides, and not in control of the organization. Of course, there's no foolproof way to keep a president from making mistakes, whether those mistakes involve the Bay of Pigs, Vietnam, or Iran.
Thanks, Bob. Bob Zelnick. In other news, New York's Governor Mario Cuomo had never said he'd definitely make a White House bid. Now he's made it official he will not. Cuomo surprised the political community last night when he announced on a radio talk show that he will not run for president.
In my opinion, the Democratic Party offers a number of presidential candidates who can prove themselves capable of leading this nation toward a more sane, a more progressive, and a more humane future. I will not add my name to that number. I will not be a candidate.
Democratic frontrunner Gary Hart called Cuomo now the conscience of the Democratic Party, and Congressman Richard Gephardt of Missouri, another candidate, said Cuomo's decision will focus more attention on the others in the running. Violence broke out last night in a mostly black community in Tampa after a black suspect died while in the chokehold of a white police officer. Some 200 people set fires, threw rocks and bottles. There were no serious injuries. The search resumes today for a possible 4th victim of an avalanche in Breckenridge, Colorado. Greg Dobbs reports on yesterday's rescue efforts.
All day they probed, each line of searchers moving elbow to elbow, 2 feet at a time, hoping to strike something hard in the snow, or as one searcher frankly put it, hoping not to. Twice they did. Twice when the poles stopped sinking, volunteers went to work with shovels, digging down and pulling up more victims of this massive avalanche, which by the end of the day made the death toll 3. All young men who had evidently ducked under a rope, despite signs saying that this powder bowl was prone to avalanche. Officials now believe there's just one more buried skier to find, but dead or alive.
Of course, we would like to remain optimistic, but of course, it's getting weaker. It gets weaker all the time. It got very cold up there last night.
One Forest Service official, this avalanche in fact happened on Forest Service land, said that some good can actually come from this disaster. Heightened awareness among even expert skiers that if they ignore warnings and duck under ropes, they can die. Greg Dobbs, ABC News, Breckenridge, Colorado.
The U.S. dollar may get some strengthening over the weekend. Stephen Ogg has details in this morning's economics report.
Good morning. Federal Reserve Chairman Paul Volcker says the meeting of the 5 major industrial powers this weekend in Paris is probably a good way to bring about stability in the value of the dollar. Volcker told the Senate Banking Committee what's really needed to move the economy along is more economic growth in West Germany and Japan. Meanwhile, directors at Piedmont Airlines say they're not ready to decide whether to accept a buyout offer from either Norfolk Southern Railway or U.S. Air. Instead, they're calling for bids from anyone else who might be interested. Finally, the world's 2 biggest photographic firms, Eastman Kodak and the Japanese Fuji Photo Film Company, unveiling throwaway cameras aimed at people who want to take pictures but forgot the camera. Kodak's camera should be available by late summer and cost $6.95. It'll use size 110 film. And here's the new Fuji model, using the larger 35mm film. It's going to cost $10 to $12, available this spring. In either case, you buy the film, which is inside the camera, and you send the whole thing in for processing, which is extra. Well, technology war like this could send shudders through the camera industry. The economy this morning.
Checking the foreign currency markets, the dollar is up today against the Japanese yen. In Europe, the dollar unchanged against the mark, up against the franc and the pound. In London, the morning gold fixing down $2.70 an ounce from yesterday's close in New York. A look ahead now at today's news calendar. President Reagan addresses the Reverend Jerry Falwell's Liberty Foundation, part of the Conservative Political Action Conference meeting here in Washington. One of the key players in Wall Street's insider trading scandal is to be sentenced in New York today. Dennis Levine has pleaded guilty to insider trading charges, and his cooperation with the feds has led to many other arrests. The UN Security Council votes on mandatory sanctions against South Africa today. The U.S. is expected to veto sanctions. And this evening on the World News Tonight, Peter Jennings profiles our person of the week. And that's our news at 7. Up at 7:30, the long wait for West Germany to extradite the suspected hijacker of TWA 847. Joan and Spencer?
Jed, thank you very much. And right now it is 8 minutes past 7, and that's time for the weather, of course. And Spencer, Christian, what are things looking like? I don't like the look on your face.
Huge storms, mammoth storms. Let me zip over here and show you. We'll start with David Hartman's favorite weather feature, that is the jet stream. What a dip this thing has out here in the west, dipping far to the south, all the way down into Mexico. Cold air pushing down into the southern states, colliding with the warmer, more moist air. The result, snow and rain. But first, the temperatures. Cold air spilling southward with the jet stream there. It's going to be winter-like over much of the nation with highs mainly in the 30s, a little patch of 40s here through the plains, and some 20s over the Rockies. The outlook calls for stormy weather throughout all of the south central states from the southern Rockies, Colorado, and New Mexico, which were hard hit yesterday with snowfall, hard hit again today, eastward into the plains. Then as you push southeastward into southern Texas and the lower Mississippi Valley, this all becomes heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. The remainder of the nation has a sort of a horseshoe of clear skies around the area of storms. That's the way the national weather picture shapes up. Here's what's happening in your hometown area.
Good morning, I'm Jeff Gilbert in the 21 Alive newsroom. Today we can expect increasing cloudiness, mild, high 41. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cold, low 25. And for tomorrow, continued cloudy skies, high at 37.
More weather in the next half hour. Joan?
Thank you, Spencer. Right now it's 9 minutes after. Over the past 11 years, David has discussed foreign policy with Henry Kissinger, our former Secretary of State. Dr. Kissinger is joining us this morning from Washington. Good morning, Dr. Kissinger. I have David here for you.
Good morning. Doctor, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. You have just in the last few weeks come back from the Soviet Union. As significant as our relationship is with the Soviet Union, you talked to Mr. Gorbachev. What's he saying right now, and what's he trying to accomplish?
Well, what all the Soviet leaders are saying, at least all the Soviet leaders that we met were saying, including Mr. Gorbachev, is that their economy is not working, that they need to have a major reform of their economy, that this requires that they loosen up on some of their past practices, that they establish a better method by which they can determine costs, to have somewhat more openness in their society. What we have to keep in mind, however, is that they're doing this not for the sake of democracy, but for the sake of efficiency, and that they're not doing it as a favor to us, but as a favor to themselves.
To what extent did Mr. Gorbachev or anybody else propose to you all any new positions or what sounded like new positions on the areas where we disagree, on Afghanistan, on Soviet adventurism, on arms control, and that kind of thing?
Of course, when you're with a private delegation, you don't get into the details on which the success often depends. On Afghanistan, it seemed to me that he was saying some significantly new things, or at any rate indicated a tone that, that might project a Soviet withdrawal over a relatively short period of time, and perhaps a willingness to let then political nature take its course within Afghanistan without claiming the right to intervene. That I thought was new and interesting. On the general debate on arms control, I frankly did not think that he or any of his colleagues were saying anything particularly new. They were pressing us very hard in a direction on which the United States is rather divided. I happen to think that the direction is unfortunate, and in any event, there was nothing spectacularly new except a great desire to come to an agreement.
How should the United States proceed right now to take advantage of, if that's the correct term, this change in tone, if not in procedures that we're hearing from the Soviets?
Well, I think we should keep in mind that our major concern is Soviet foreign policy, not Soviet domestic policy. And therefore, whether we adjust our position should depend on what the Soviets do in their foreign policy positions and not what they do in their internal affairs and the managing of their economy, which in many ways will make them more formidable if it succeeds. This requires that we get our own intellectual house in order and define where we want to go, what kind of an agreement, if any, we consider in our national interest, and not permit the Soviets to preempt the public debate by flooding us with new proposals which keep nudging us towards a position which some of us consider dangerous.
How concerned are you that given the problems we're having in our own administration right now, Iran-gate, unquote, and all of these problems, that we are not going to, in the very near future, be prepared to really deal with those questions that you bring up in an intelligent, useful way in our national interest?
Well, it'd be a terrible pity. Whatever happened in Iran has happened. Everybody recognizes that mistakes were made. In a way, they are irremediable in that sense. The president has appointed a very able man, David Abshire, to follow this case for him and to make sure that all the facts come out. The president's great contribution now to our nation and to the future of peace in the world can be to set a direction for our foreign policy for the last 18 months, to bring his warring factions within his administration under control, and to indicate where we want to go, to give us some criteria by which to judge whether we are making progress or not. That's within his capability, and we have to remember his policy got us to a point where there is a very active negotiation. So I do not think he should be preoccupied with Iran. That is an essentially self-destructive course.
Dr. Kissinger, thank you. It's good to have you with us this morning, and may I also thank you over these years for your joining us so many times to help not only us but me understand these questions that we've talked about over and over again. And thank you for your private counsel as well when I needed the briefings to go around the world and do my job. Thank you.
Well, and let me thank you for your professionalism and for your great human qualities, which always made it a pleasure to be on with you. I wish you every success, and I hope we'll meet often in the future.
Dr. Kissinger, thank you very much.
And right now, one of our most significant experiences came when David won an Emmy for the piece that he wrote in the summer of 1984 about the B-1 bomber. It was a tribute to the test pilot Doug Benefield, who died in a crash just 4 weeks after David flew in his plane.
Now, time to go home. One last pass over Edwards at 200 feet, 600 miles per hour. It's loud in the cockpit. I wonder what we sound like from the ground. We've read books and seen countless movies about these test pilots and engineers. They're heroes to me, special. They seem almost immortal, flying planes that may not work, flying them in a way they're not supposed to fly, knowing the machine they love could kill them.
You're learning how to fly fast, aren't you?
Are you a pro? Are you a pro?
When it comes to individual retirement accounts, most banks don't give you much of a choice. But with an IRA from Lincoln National Bank, you aren't confined to just one investment. You can pick and choose from a variety of options, like guaranteed rate CDs, stocks and bonds, or even mutual funds. With choices like these, you'll want to consolidate all your IRA dollars at Lincoln National Bank.
Tom Kelly Buick GMC celebrates the opening of their new truck headquarters with 3 days of great savings and 3 great reasons to buy now. Tom Kelly has the largest selection of full-size conversion vans in the area. These vans are loaded with extras, yet start as low as $12,888. Save hundreds and get 3.9% financing or up to $600 cash back on selected GMC trucks. 3 days to save plus 3 great reasons to buy now. It all adds up to savings at Tom Kelly Buick GMC, a great place to do business.
An inside perspective on the Mattress Warehouse. Now that you know, why not add the classic style and comfort of the Mattress Warehouse to your home? The Mattress Warehouse, just west of Glenbrook on Coliseum Boulevard.
Are you just standing there while your monthly income shrinks? Check your CDs, your HR-10s, your KIOs, your bank funds, and your money market accounts. You can do better. You can lock in a guaranteed high yield. You can have safety with insured principal and interest. And you can have monthly income 80% tax-free and not touch your principal. Money doesn't stay still. Call Burrow Keener & Associates if you want your money to grow.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway. You're loud and clear. Roger. A little bumpy along about here.
Oh, it's hard to believe that was 25 years ago today. John Glenn in Friendship 7, the first American to orbit the Earth in space. With us this morning are 2 of David's highest flying friends. Colonel Joe Engle is from the astronaut ranks. He commanded 2 space shuttle missions. He is here in New York with us this morning. And from the Miami Aviation Corps Center, the man who started it all when he broke the sound barrier in 1947, General Chuck Yeager. And David, I'll let you go at these 2.
Chuck, good morning, Chuck. How you doing?
It's pretty good, David. How you doing?
Oh, just great. Thank you, Joe. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, David.
You guys want to speak to each other? Aren't you talking?
Why, sure. How you doing there, Chuck? Yeah, I'm pretty good. Probably not as good as you're doing, but oh well.
You got some airplanes behind you. You got one up on me there.
Yeah.
Joe, start us off here. You were flying the X-15 at Edwards when John Glenn made that flight. What was the significance of the X-15?
Well, all those research airplanes, David, I think had a real significant part in getting us into space, starting with Chuck's X-1. The X-15 designers got started off on a plateau that they already knew how to go supersonic, and the X-1 showed us how to do that. So the X-1's contribution really was to not only high-speed research, but how to develop a flight control system that we could fly from space, out of the atmosphere, back into the atmosphere, using aerodynamic controls. And that was really a significant key in the development of a flight control system that we use on the space shuttle.
Chuck, Joe mentioned the X-1 and leading to the X-15 and leading to space. What was your reaction when we actually sent people up as John Glenn and the others went up in space? What was going through your mind about the whole program at the time?
Well, David, it was a natural evolution from the days of the first research airplanes, as Joe mentioned, like the X-1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I was really interested to see how these guys handled themselves in the capsule, because it's kind of a crowded place, and they didn't have too much control over their airplane or their capsule, I might say. And it was very interesting.
All right, I want to bring something up right now that the three of you all did together. Chuck, let's take a look at a challenge that you made to David, and I think it was in July of 1985, when he was out with a rodeo injury.
Dog.
Okay. David, the last time I was on your show, I promised you I'd take you for a ride in a P-51. Well, I'm up here at Oshkosh with a P-51, and you ain't here, so I'm going flying. You'd probably got sick anyway.
Slow roll. I really appreciate your support there, Yeager. That's really nice of you.
Yeah. Now, we had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah.
But you guys all did get David to go up together.
Yeah.
It was last October,
You
right?
bet.
Do you want to tell us what our fearless flyer was like?
All right, well, yeah, well, Joe, go ahead and set it up, Joe.
Hey,
tell them
listen,
what we were doing.
The guy did great. I tell you, when I took off to join up, shoot, I could see the smile, the grin on David's face before I could pick the airplane out of the sky, and it was easy to join up on him. He just had a great time. Did a great job, too, by God.
I didn't do anything. I just sat in the back seat behind Yeager and said, hey, this is fun. This is fun.
Hey, David, that really was, and I think you got the biggest charge out of your son sitting on our wing over there in that little airplane, and he was grinning from ear to ear just like you were. So.
Well, I'll tell you, when you were, and that was the still picture we just saw, the little T-34. I don't know whether they can put that picture back up again. We'll try. But, yeah, my 11-year-old was up there in the back seat of that T-34, and I must say, when you started to talk to him on the radio, when I thought I'm in the back seat with Yeager and my 11-year-old's up here talking on a radio flying wing between Joe Engel and Chuck Yeager, it was a neat moment. Chuck, thank you for that, and to Joe, I thank you both.
You all tried to surprise him, didn't you, with some other planes, and you spotted them out from the...
Oh, we sure did. We had a couple of the guys flying the Zeros down in Confederate Air Force. They were going to jump us and try and surprise Dave, but he picked them up. He saw them way too early on.
See, it's eyesight, right, Yeager? You wrote that in your book. You got to be able to see them coming, right?
Yeah, we picked them up. We picked them up, David. When they came in, Joe and I split and scissored them and rolled in on them, and then they put out some smoke. I think it was pretty realistic, really. It was really fun flying that old P-51, of course, that I flew in World War II with Bud Anderson and I.
Chuck, thank you. It's great to see you. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Hey,
Joe?
David, listen, you know, Chuck, David wanted to fly that airplane so darn bad, and figured you better give him a little training. David, here's a coffee mug with a control stick on it. As soon as you can handle a cup of coffee with that thing, we'll get you in formation.
Look at that. There, we got a little stick here. Hey, Yeager, is this the first step?
Yeah, that's the beginning, and next you got to look like a pilot. You should have given him a rag helmet, Joe.
Yeah.
Chuck, thank you. Joe, thanks.
Hey,
David,
keep up the good work, Dave.
You too. Thanks, Chuck.
We're going to miss you, big guy. Have a good one.
Go to Super Value, where your fantasies will come true when you play Monopoly Match and Win for real cash. Lots of cash.
$1 million.
Enjoy these Beatrice products. All varieties of Peter Pan peanut butter, only $1.59. Swiftning shortening, only 99 cents. And Eckrich smoked sausage, $1.79 a pound. And don't forget to play Monopoly Match and Win.
And thousands of instant winners. What if that apple a day doesn't keep the doctor away? Will your health insurance really help? Or will medical care costs eat it up too fast? If you want a free review of all your coverage needs, check with State Farm.
For prompt personal service, see me, Ron Antonick.
For your good neighbor service, see me, Phil Aldridge.
Hi, I'm Jack Brunson. See me about auto, fire, and health insurance.
Now, it's tax time, but it's actually something to look forward to. You see, Lincoln Mercury Mercure dealers are out to reduce their inventory before March 1st, when their personal property taxes are assessed. So now's the time to make an offer on the car you want. Get 3.9% financing plus up to $600 cash back on Mercury Lynx, Topaz, and Mercure XR4 Ti. Buy a manual transmission Topaz with preferred equipment package for a total savings of $1,835. So visit your Lincoln Mercury Mercure dealer before our friend the taxman does.
Heck of a way to go. Yep. Way I hear it, never had a chance.
Nope.
Pauper's grave, no family. Gall darn shame.
One last look, just out of respect.
Why not? Pretty young for a transmission.
Ought to be humming along in third gear.
Way I heard it, took it in for an inspection. Never made it off the table.
If they'd only known about Russ Moore transmission. #1 in Fort Wayne for over 30 years.
No doubt about it. Be alive today.
Yep.
This is 21 Alive Newsroom with Ron Houston and Jeff Gilbert, brought to you by Clean It Incorporated. It's not clean till it's Clean It Clean.
And good morning to you. It is 7:25, Friday, February 20th. In the headlines this morning, Allen County Council approves a tax break for tow time.
And in the weather forecast, well, we can expect a few clouds by this afternoon, but warmer temperatures.
And topping our news at this hour, Tokheim Corporation has made some progress in their plans to build a new world headquarters complex. The County Council held a public hearing last night on the company's request that a portion of Perry Township be designated as an economic revitalization area. Council heard testimony for and against the granting of the tax abatements for the project. Following that, the council voted 5-0 in favor of the tax abatements. A 50-year-old Fort Wayne man is dead this morning following a one-car accident yesterday. Harry Bud Prentice was driving in the 7400 block of Bear Road yesterday, and his vehicle left the road and hit a tree. Officials say he was dead at the scene. Fire investigators say careless smoking is the cause of a fatal fire which claimed the life of a Fort Wayne man. Officials say 60-year-old Frederick Fritz Mundinger fell asleep while smoking late Wednesday morning. He was taken to Parkview Hospital, where he later died. A medical research team at Indiana University has discovered a genetic link to Alzheimer's disease. Researchers have found that Alzheimer's is in a chromosome, the same one where Down syndrome is active, but not in the same area. 2 to 3% of those 65 and over get the memory disease. Well, tires used as kindling created a thick cloud of black smoke over the city of Fort Wayne yesterday. North Hill Development is building an office and apartment complex at Coldwater and Wallen Roads. And Star Excavating of Memphis, Indiana is licensed to burn at the site. But the burning of tires violates air pollution control regulations. And officials informed Star to stop burning. The company could face further action as a result. Jeff?
Well, clear skies over Fort Wayne this hour, 17 degrees. The forecast when we return.
Clean up on the savings now with Clean It's 2-room carpet cleaning special. For just $35, we'll professionally steam clean any 2 rooms in your home with high-pressure steam that lifts out even the most ground-in dirt and stains. And while we're cleaning your carpets, have Clean It Steam or dry clean your furniture and get 15% off. Eliminate smoke and annoying pet odors. Restore a fresh, clean look to your furniture. Clean up on the savings now. Call Clean It today, 484-0304. Remember, it's not clean till it's Clean It Clean.
Well, we have cold temperatures over the northern part of the state. As you can see here in Fort Wayne, clear skies, 17 degrees. They warm up ever so slightly as you go south. Evansville reporting a little fog this morning, 31 degrees down there. Temperatures right about the same over in Ohio as they are here in the Hoosier State. If you look at the state closely, you can see that mostly the northern sections of the state do have clear skies this hour. The only cloudiness really reported a little bit in the central and southern sections of the state. Now, tomorrow at this time, we expect the low pressure that's giving a lot of snow activity to the south-central portions of the nation this morning will begin to move east and bring a little bit of precipitation as far north as the edge of southern Indiana. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast then. For today, we can expect a high temperature of 41 degrees with increasing clouds today. And then for tonight, our low will dip down to about, what? Let's show it. 25 degrees, there we go, under mostly cloudy skies. And then for tomorrow, the forecast looks like this, mostly cloudy, high of 37. The extended forecast then for Sunday, we bring in a little bit of light snow, high in the mid-30s. And then Monday and Tuesday, partly cloudy days and a little warmer.
And that's it for us. We'll return at 8:25 with a news and weather update.
This has been 21 Alive Newsroom with Ron Houston and Jeff Gilbert, brought to you by Clean It Incorporated, your carpet cleaning specialists. Come wander through Comfortables, the living room gallery, for the best in furniture at the very least in price. Now you can save from 30 to 70% on selected merchandise from our new 1987 models. Love seats, sofas, chairs, and action 3-position recliners, all priced to go. With savings like this, you'd better come early for the best selection, because once they're gone, they're gone. Comfortables, the living room gallery, proving that you don't need to be the largest to be the best. Just north of Glenbrook on Coldwater Road.
You bet the Pride is back. Right now, you can get both 3.7 financing and $600 cash back on Plymouth Reliant. Or choose $900 in cash. Plus, Reliant comes with Chrysler's new 770 protection plan, the industry's longest protection plan.
The Pride is back. Born in America. Again.
See Poinsett Chrysler Plymouth in downtown Fort Wayne.
Hartman, Joe in London. In over 11 years here at Good Morning America, I've had the opportunity to meet some of our country's greatest athletes, and Mary Lou Retton and Muhammad Ali, to name just two of the great ones. One of those terrific athletes is a great baseball player named Willie Stargell, and he'll be with us in this half hour. And we'll hear from the vituperative Howard Cosell.
Sounds like you're imitating him.
No kidding. I thought it was Gregory Pecker.
The very beautiful and very talented Audrey Hepburn will be with us. And then last but certainly not least, the superstar of all superstars, none other than Miss Piggy herself, who I know has a very big crush on David, will join us. Right now, though, it is 7:30. Jed Duval has the news for us. Jed, good morning.
Good morning, Joan, David. Good morning, everyone. New York Governor Mario Cuomo has bowed out of the 1988 presidential race. Cuomo says he will not seek the Democratic nomination. The governor says his decision is best for his family, state, and party. Former National Security Advisor Robert McFarlane reportedly has told the Tower Commission he helped draw up an inaccurate chronology of Iran arms deals to hide President Reagan's role in initiating the sales. Commission members interviewed McFarlane yesterday. The Washington Post says former White House aide Oliver North gave Iran secret intelligence forbidden to all foreign countries. One source told the paper North was running his own covert operation within the authorized covert operation. West German authorities are still holding Mohammed Ali Hamadi, accused of hijacking TWA Flight 847 in 1985. As Dennis Trout reports, Hamadi could remain in Germany for some time to come.
When the 22-year-old German national was arrested by German police at Frankfurt Airport, he carried several bottles of liquid explosive and was said to be acting suspiciously. U.S. officials were openly gleeful and predicted that the accused air pirate and murderer would find himself on U.S. soil in a matter of days, awaiting trial on federal charges. But the harsh reality of Middle East politics and terrorism quickly intervened, and two West German businessmen visiting Beirut were taken hostage. Their captors delivered a blunt message. Extradition of Mohammed Hamadi to the U.S. would mean death for the two men they were holding. The government of German Chancellor Helmut Kohl adopted a policy of quiet negotiations and stalling for time, which it continues to follow. Meanwhile, Hamadi sits in a German jail awaiting trial. For now, German officials are trying to please everyone. They'll keep custody of Hamadi and probably try him on explosives charges. By refusing to extradite him to the U.S., the Germans can continue to negotiate for the release of their hostages in Beirut. Hamadi may one day be tried for the hijacking of Flight 847, but that's probably years away. Dennis Trout, ABC News, Washington.
Racial violence broke out in Tampa, Florida last night. About 200 people threw rocks and bottles, set fires, looted stores in a black neighborhood. They apparently were protesting the death of a black man who was subdued by police using a chokehold Wednesday. There were no serious injuries. This evening on ABC's World News Tonight, Peter Jennings profiles the person of the week. That's the news at 7:30. Coming up at 8 o'clock, trouble in a California diocese over paying for the Pope's visit. David and Spencer?
Jim, thank you. And it's 27 minutes before 8 right now. As always, at this time, Spencer Christian.
What I want to know, David, is am I going to have to mail you a Jetstream map every day? Or are you going to be tuning in, taping the...
No, I'll be up. I'll be watching you every morning, Spencer.
Smart man, as will most of America. Okay, well, I'll tell you all about today's weather and the weekend ahead after this message from Metaprin.
Can't wait.
Introducing Metaprin when your body hasn't got time for the pain.
I haven't got time for the pain. No, I haven't got time for the pain anymore.
Metaprin has ibuprofen, the prescription ingredient recommended by doctors 2-to-1 over aspirin for body pain, including minor arthritis pain. And it's safer to your stomach than aspirin.
I haven't got time for the pain.
When your body hasn't got time for the pain, new Metaprin from the makers of Tylenol products.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a stormy day down in the south-central part of the country. First, the good news is that skies will be clear in sort of a horseshoe-shaped area from the mid-Atlantic across the northern states and back into the southwest. But right here in the southern plains and Rockies, it's going to be a mess. Heavy snow is still falling over portions of Colorado and New Mexico, both hard hit yesterday. Snow has pushed eastward into Kansas and Oklahoma, northwestern Texas. Heavy rain will fall over southeastern Texas today. Thunderstorms pushing into the lower Mississippi Valley, and with all that turbulence there, could trigger a couple of tornadoes. Now, by tomorrow, the area of precipitation will have split up. A little snow remains in the southern Rockies, rain in the southeast, clear just about everywhere else. And by Sunday, another storm will have developed over the Rocky Mountain area, another snowstorm, and it'll be wet again over the southern plains. That's the way the National Weather Picture shapes up. Here's what's happening in your hometown area.
Good morning, I'm Jeff Gilbert in the 21 Alive newsroom. Today we can expect increasing cloudiness, mild, high 41. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cold, low 25. And for tomorrow, continued cloudy skies, high at 37.
7:35 now. As David traveled over the years, we sort of got to go with him. And some of the places he saw were just fascinating, like his trip to the Soviet Union.
But there were warm moments. The farmer from the Ukraine who reached out and said, for the sake of my children, for your children, we must get along better. On a street in Siberia, a babushka, a grandmother, stopped me to say that she wanted peace.
This little grandmother will be shown to all America. I say, let there be no war.
She is the mystery.
I don't care where you come from. Alaska will get you.
Alaska is the story that my father told of swift rivers running with salmon and gold. Alaska is so many things I have never known. Alaska is the warming sun calling me home. Alaska.
In 1894, a three-man research agency was created to test electrical wiring. In the decades that followed, it tested and set safety standards for products the world over. Its name, Underwriters Laboratories. Who created Underwriters Laboratories? You're going to be surprised. Your insurance company. We do a lot more than sell insurance.
What do you know about cranberries?
I know I like ocean spray.
What do you know about cran apples?
Apple juice was never like this.
Good for you, tastes so good too. Cran apple.
The unique cranberry has essential things your body needs. So does Cran Apple, the good-for-you cranberry apple drink.
Better tasted, fresh fruit flavor. Ocean spray. Cranberry drinks.
It's good for you, America, from Ocean Spray.
This man is missing nearly 1/2 of the fiber he should have every day. He's not the only one. The National Cancer Institute states that most Americans have diets lacking adequate fiber. Fortunately, just one serving of Kellogg's All-Bran has the amount of fiber needed to make up what the average person is missing each day. Kellogg's All-Bran. It can make all the difference.
Great.
Anybody gives me a suit, I'll go out there.
You bet.
But it only lasts for a day. That's the problem after they see me.
It's 38 after right now. DH. That stands for David Hartman. That also stands for designated hitter, which is just what David tries to be each spring when he visits the baseball training camps. Howard Cosell is with us this morning to take a look at David's illustrious baseball career. What?
Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Speaking of sports, there are those who say the only reason David Hartman took this job was the chance to go to baseball spring training every year. He would say that this was just another part of the job, a journalistic assignment, but nothing could be further from the truth. He wanted the uniforms. He wanted the coaching. He wanted the respect of the players, and he wanted somebody, anybody, to say he had the right stuff to make the team.
Listen, Stretch, I just wanted you to know I got a spot for you on this ball club.
Is that great? Bruce Jenner, eat your heart out.
It's going to be very tough for me to have to tell that bed boy you're going to replace him.
We are family. Willie Stargell, the Pirates great, and the rest of his team tried to teach David the fundamentals. It was a humiliating experience.
Hey, you sure your name ain't Mary Hartman? Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
His associates on the program tried to tell him.
Wait a minute, Hart.
What do you want? You guys lost.
The Baltimore Orioles are going to get equal time this spring.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down and maybe not match your ineptitude in the field, but certainly do my best.
How are you going to take that?
We'll be back. Hartman refused to give up.
Coach, do you need a kind of a tall, old guy around just in case?
A tall old guy that could hit or pitch I could use. Just being tall isn't going to do it.
And when the show traveled to England for the royal wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, it was an opportunity for this boy of summer to have a go at cricket, another disaster that almost got him arrested. Back in the States, he continued to get the best coaching. Petey Rose, Charlie Hustle did his best for David. Dwight Gooden, the great Dr. K of the Mets, was kind enough to let him hit a pitch or two, but all is not lost. David has finally found a team that appreciates his physical ability, his coaching strength, his true love for the spirit of the game. He is truly a lucky man. His face epitomizes the constant futility that was always his.
Howard, thank you. That was really fun.
Now, we had to shop around a little bit to find some favorable comments, but we found
Thanks, Joan. I appreciate that.
Some.
You did?
Yes, Willie Stargell. And Willie is with us right now from KTRK TV in Houston. Give us some words of praise, Willie.
Well, I thought Howard was a little rough on David.
Thanks, Willie.
David has always been out there doing his very best and showing the people that he had the kind of enthusiasm and the staying power, you know, to be able to go and do the things that's expected of a ball player every spring. So, David, I'm very proud of you.
Willie,
and we're going to hate to see you leave. As a matter of fact, as a going-away president, I'd like to present you with one of the seriographs that Leroy Neiman did, and Roberto Clemente's in the background of this, so I'm sure he would have wanted you to have something like this as well.
Want to take a look at this right here?
Oh, boy.
We've got it right here in the studio. Let's see if this works now. There we go.
Oh,
is that great?
That great.
Isn't that wonderful?
Willie, that is a wonderful, thoughtful gift.
Well, you've been very special to a lot of us, and we certainly wanted to make sure you do that.
Willie, thank you. What's going to happen with you and Chuck down there in Atlanta?
Well, we certainly have created some enthusiasm this year. Bobby Cox and Chuck have made some changes, certainly for the better, and we're looking forward to a lot of guys going head and head and trying to create a position that's going to be open only for one. We got maybe 3 or 4 guys, but I think this spring is going to be exciting. The city of Atlanta certainly deserves a championship team, and these are our ultimate goals. We're committed to winning, and we're looking forward to this year.
Willie, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I feel in my role here that I have to do it and let Chuck and the guys know that Willie's going to be a day late to spring training. And, Willie, I hope you're able to handle what's going to happen to you in that locker room when you get down there.
I know I'm going to take a serious lip beating, that's without a doubt.
Oh, Willie, thank you. And, David, I just want to show right now one last glimpse of you and your Pirate teammates. Watch this.
We thought a lot about it.
Hooray, Dave! Hooray at last! Hooray for Dave!
It's the way we test the waters, the way we try our wings. It's the way we find the courage to do some crazy things. Drinking our kind of coffee, good to the last drop, yeah. Only Maxwell House, fresh flavor, tastes like coffee made our way. Only Maxwell House, fresh flavor.
So these are Tyson chicken chunks. Mmm, golden crispy outside. 100% tender chicken inside. Mmm, delicious.
Tyson chicken chunks. Great tasting chicken in a bite-sized chunk.
When your throat's really sore, Chloraseptic spray relieves it really fast.
How fast? So fast that the moment he feels relief, we'll stop this commercial.
The difference between the best overhead door company and all the others is a ribbon. This ribbon. It means we install and service more doors and openers than anyone else. It means 40 service trucks running day and night. It means this company invented overhead doors. A lot of companies use our name. Only one has the ribbon. The original overhead door. When you need service, look for the ribbon in the yellow pages.
The inventory tax won't spoil this party. Indiana Toyota dealers are serving up delicious deals on every new Toyota car, truck, and van in stock to celebrate the President's birthday. And faced with the inventory tax at the end of the month, Indiana Toyota dealers are making their terrific deals even better. Oh, this party won't last forever. The inventory tax sale ends February 28th. So get to your Indiana Toyota dealers, make your best deal now. Hurry!
14 minutes before 8. Recently, I spoke with Audrey Hepburn at a hotel near her home in Stade, Switzerland. She seemed to me as beautiful then and as chanting as ever, somebody who would never change. But she told me about how she had changed in a rather surprising way when she was growing up.
I was a thin girl, terribly thin during the war because little by little there was practically nothing to eat. And when the war was over and rations started, you know, pouring in, I started to eat. By the time I was 20, I was tubby. That's a big difference.
Tubby?
And then little by little I thinned back to my old self.
Tubby?
It was, you know, I used to eat my way through a whole pot of jam and things like that. I was food mad.
Disciplined. How disciplined were you?
Very, I think, because I had a terribly disciplinarian upbringing. My mother was very much of a disciplinarian, rather strict. And I went from that to a Russian ballet training with a marvelous Russian teacher.
Let me interrupt a second. The Netherlands, wait, raised in Holland, right?
Right.
But then you were in England. Right?
I was born in Brussels. I lived in between Brussels and England until I was about 10. Then I spent the war years, actually in all 8 years, in Holland, after which I went back to England to work.
How many languages did you speak?
A bit of English, French, Dutch, Italian.
How disappointing, what disappointed are you that you didn't get to be Margot Fontaine? Something that you didn't, as much as you loved ballet as a child, as a young person?
That's a very good question, because deep down it was my dream, really was, as a child already. You know, ballet is what I love most. And I can't say today how disappointed I am, because I've had so much good fortune and everything. I've been given so much, not becoming a dancer. And I think the world of ballet was spared me, but I still get a great lump in my throat. I get terribly moved by dancing, because deep down it's something that I really loved so much.
What do you wish you had done a little differently as you look back over things?
Obviously I wouldn't have done the mistakes and the, you know, I can't say I wish I hadn't been in Holland during the war, which was a terrible experience, because it was finally very enriching, and I, you know, learned a lot for the rest of my life. All my, whatever I've suffered has helped me later on. So you can't say I wish I hadn't made any of the mistakes, you know.
May I mention a couple of movie titles to you, and just whatever comes to mind? Would you? Fair Lady. How much did you want the part?
Very much. Very much, I think. You know. You say what's the first thing I think of is Flowers. Those first shots on the screen with all the peonies and the roses and, you know, Covent Garden. I've never liked words very much. I'm not very, I don't deal with them very well. I love music. I love dancing because you could do it all to music, which sort of takes you out of yourself. And what was great about My Fair Lady is that every other scene was to music, either sung or danced. And in that sense, it was perhaps one of the easier pictures to do.
Nun's Story.
The most unusual experience I've ever had.
Why?
Unusual because it was very, very different. First of all, Fred Zinnemann is a perfectionist. And to be a nun, he had me locked into convents. To be a nurse, he had me witness operations. To do the picture, we were in darkest Africa, in the Congo. And it was marvelous.
Roman Holiday.
I think back at it very emotionally, because thanks to Roman Holiday, thanks to William Wyler, thanks to Greg Beck, an awful lot happened to me.
There you are, you sneak.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's the picture that's easiest for me to look at. There's something about me in that which I'm least embarrassed by.
Well, how could I say no? It was also wildly romantic. How do I look?
It's a happy blur of wonderful, very human experiences. I think back and there's always something rather marvelous about each one, either friendships or places or something very new in my life. I think of them as experiences more than jobs, if you like, and more than work.
If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be?
I'd like to be 10 years younger. Those are the years I'd like back.
The last 10?
Not so much for what's happened then, but I mean, to have a little more time. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I don't care about getting old. And I don't care in that sense. I mean, you know, it happens to everybody. I'd love a little more time.
Wow, she's great. The other star of the TV movie with Audrey Hepburn is Robert Wagner. The movie is called Love Among Thieves. It's going to be on ABC next Monday night, and RJ is joining us right now from Los Angeles. Good morning, RJ. How you doing?
Good morning, David. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Would you describe what it was like, you stinker, to get to work with Audrey Hepburn?
Oh, it was a thrill, David. It was a highlight of my one of the highlights of my career, definitely. And I know it was one of the highlights of yours to come over there and interview her.
That's true.
And you made such a great effort to do that. You'd been in Alaska and then in Greenland and came over to do that, and we were most grateful for it.
Well, it was worth every second of coming over there to do it.
You had a good time.
Yeah, you're not, it really was good. What's up your sleeve? What are you up to after this is over? You got to keep busy here. What are you doing?
Oh, I've got a few things in the works, David. But you know, I wanted to come down here today and wish you the best of luck. You've been a permanent fixture in our house for a long time, and you're the best, and you're a wonderful man, and I just want to wish you all the best.
RJ, thank you, and thanks for making the effort to come here this morning to be with us. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're the best.
I'm going to jump in here, if I may. 53 minutes after, and one thing you have to say for David, he does have a certain animal magnetism.
Good morning, America, and here is David.
I love
Take it, David! Go for it, David!
No more bread and butter, no more crackers and jam. I really want to light up, put a Quaker rice cake in my hand.
35-calorie Quaker rice cakes. Put a Quaker rice cake in my hand.
Son, there's gravy in them kibbles. There's gravy in them bits. Son, there's gravy in them kibbles and bits and gravy bits.
Kibbles and bits and gravy bits.
Gravy, son.
When information is in the hands of just a few, you're at their mercy. You play by their rules. But we think people should be in control, not machines. So at AT&T, we're working to combine computers and communications so you can get the right information to the right people at the right time. As easy as using the telephone. AT&T, the right choice.
Maybe it'll be the dry skin or the film on your dishes and glassware or the laundry that just looks dull. But sooner or later, those hard water problems are going to hit you. And you're probably going to give us a call. Culligan water conditioners. A good reason to say, hey, Culligan man.
Purchase your Culligan water conditioner for as little as $23 a month, and your first payment is 3 months away. Pick up the phone and call the Culligan man nearest you.
Good health leads to a good life, and I hope my medical reports help you to take an active role in your health care. Because if you understand a problem, it's much easier to solve it.
And I hope my reports help make us aware of some of the problems facing our education system. Because
education is so important when it comes to business matters. Economic changes happen quickly, and I hope my business reports shed some light on how these changes affect you.
If it's important to you, it's important to us. 21 Alive News.
It is now 7:55. In 11 years here at Good Morning America, David's met some pretty big stars, some people that you might even say superstars, but who could compare with the wonderful Miss Piggy?
That's what I do. You now. Go ahead.
Okay. Here we are as in olden days, as in golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Your turn.
Through the years we all will be together, fiercely friends and love together.
Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you, Miss Piggy. I'll tell you, Frank Oz and Jim Henson are two of the geniuses of our industry. Two really great people.
You stole her heart there, you know. Kermit could be very mad. We've had a lot of wonderful laughs, but don't get the wrong idea, of course. It wasn't always all fun and games. Sometimes it was very serious, sometimes even heartbreaking.
As I photographed them, I saw my own children, and I was grateful. It is painful thinking these kids don't have the chances that mine have. And they are India's future. They must progress if India's to progress.
After 25 years, people have had it with dishwasher powders all over their dishes. Fortunately, you're about to get a break from powders. Introducing Palmolive Automatic, a revolutionary new liquid made just for automatic dishwashers. Because it's a liquid, it dissolves faster to rinse clean with no powder residue. So you can get on with other things. Try new Palmolive Automatic and break away from powders.
So these are Tyson chicken chunks. Mmm, golden crispy outside. 100% tender chicken inside. Mmm, delicious.
Tyson chicken chunks. Great tasting chicken in a bite-sized chunk.
Tums doesn't have it. Rolaids doesn't have it. Malox Plus does. We have what you need for complete relief of excess acid, heartburn, and gas. Malox for acid and heartburn, plus simethicone for gas. Get complete relief. Try Malox Plus.
Next hour this morning, Irma Bombeck back with us, and Dr. Norma Vincent Peale.
Also, former Presidents Ford and Carter will be joining us.
And more news from others as well. Try to stay with us if you can. We'll be right back.
This is ABC.
A new wave of excitement is rolling through the Coliseum now through Sunday. It's the Tri-State Boat Show with over 200 boats and motors at special prices. The Tri-State Boat Show now through Sunday at the Coliseum.
The Super Sellathon sale is going on right now at Value City Furniture, and the savings have never been greater. Like this brass and glass dinette set, compared over $300, now only $148. Your choice of white or brass stay beds at savings of over one-half off, now only $98 each. Or this stunning sofa, upholstered in super soft ultra velour, not $800, now only $398. Every major item is marked down. Now's the time to buy. Now's the time to save at the Super Sellathon sale, only at Value City Furniture.
You pour seed and fertilizer, herbicide and hard work into your corn crop. You could protect that input with just any rootworm insecticide, or you could use Lorsban 15G and get protection from rootworms, as well as cutworms, wireworms, grubs, seed corn maggots, and other insects, and avoid problems with seed safety. This year, get more out of your rootworm insecticide. In conservation or conventional tillage, use Lorsban 15G.
Warren Beatty and Goldie Hawn tonight on 21 Alive.
I'm Tip O'Neill, former Speaker of the Congress of the United States. I see David Hartman as following my example. A couple of times I talked to Ronald Reagan about doing the same thing. He just smiled. Top of the morning to you, David, and good luck. Good morning, America.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Takes every opportunity to take those shots, doesn't he? Mr. O'Neill, Mr. Speaker, thanks for doing that for us this morning. It's nice to have you with us. And good morning, everybody. I'm David Hartman.
And I'm Joan London. And on that note, I have a little bit of a surprise for you right now. We have the Vice President of the United States on the phone for you.
You're kidding.
Yes, you want to say hello? I don't think you need to.
Mr. Bush?
Dave?
Mr. Bush, is that you?
Yes, it is, Guy. How are you?
I'm just terrific. Mr. Vice President, thank you. Good morning.
Listen, I told your producer, I just called up on a personal basis to wish you well, and I didn't intend to have all this going on, but anyway, best of luck to you. And this program is tremendously nostalgic, and they're going to miss your tough and incisive and penetrating questioning around there, but I'll tell you, nobody in all your peers out there can equal you for pure fairness, and that's all I want to say. Just wish you well.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. You can imagine how much I appreciate your making the effort to call this morning, and best to you in your challenges coming up in the days and months to come, because I know you have a lot facing you. Mr. Vice President, thank you. Bye.
And
thanks. That's nice.
Right now, we'll go to Jed Duval down in Washington with the news. Jed.
Good morning, Joan. David. Good morning, everyone. New details have come to light in the Iran-Contra affair. Published reports today say White House aides doctored a chronology of the Iran arms deal to protect President Reagan from political damage. Former National Security Advisor Robert McFarlane reportedly told the Tower Commission yesterday that the document laid out a way in which the president could deny giving prior approval to the arms sale. The chronology prepared by ousted aide Oliver North is said to have stressed the strategic objective of the arms deal, while leaving out details showing the real objective was to gain release of hostages. Bob Zelnick, who's been tracking this story, joins us now. Bob, do you get the sense, or does the Tower Commission get the sense, do you think, that this is now a Watergate cover-up thing?
Not at all, Jed. I think the operative and key word here is political. This was a document prepared to assist the president in politically presenting this situation to the American public, not an obstruction of justice. If there were NSC illegalities, they more than likely involve the raising of funds or coordinating the private efforts to raise funds for the Contra during a period when it was barred by Congress. One other thing that the focus of this commission, the Tower Commission, is on how the president managed the NSC, his aloofness from events, and that's where its report is going to have some sharp things to say.
All right. Now, what about this key figure in the NSC, Colonel North? Is it your sense, or is it the Tower Commission's sense, do you think, that he was operating on his own?
Not at all, again. I think it's, there's the overwhelming evidence is that Oliver North was not a loose cannon. He was a meticulous record keeper, a meticulous memo writer, kept his superiors like Admiral Poindexter, William Casey, and Bud McFarlane closely informed.
Completely informed at every maneuver, almost every day.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bob. Also this morning, New York's Governor Mario Cuomo has left an opening in the Democratic field for the White House in 1988 by dropping out. Cuomo gained national attention in 1984, delivering the eloquent keynote address at the Democratic Convention. He used a radio talk show in New York last night to drop the political bombshell.
In my opinion, the Democratic Party offers a number of presidential candidates who can prove themselves capable of leading this nation toward a more sane, a more progressive, and a more humane future. I will not add my name to that number.
Cuomo's announcement, of course, boosts the presidential aspirations of former Colorado Senator Gary Hart, the current frontrunner, and is good news for lesser-known candidates such as Delaware's Senator Joseph Biden and Congressman Dick Gephardt of Missouri. Violence broke out last night in Tampa, Florida, where police say some 200 black residents went on a rock-throwing rampage through a predominantly black neighborhood. No arrests were reported. Officials say the trouble started after the death of a black man in police custody. The Reagan administration has resurrected the controversy over mandatory drug testing of federal employees by issuing controversial new guidelines. Tim O'Brien has details.
The guidelines require 60 days notice before the tests may begin. The testing must be random, no singling out specific employees. Detection will be aimed primarily at cocaine and marijuana, and anyone who tests positive gets a second, more comprehensive test. The guidelines go to some lengths to prevent cheating, leading some critics to say they violate the right to privacy.
This program doesn't allow us to urinate in privacy. It forces us to urinate in public.
But government officials insist the tests will be fair.
Noting that the guidelines are designed to produce fair, reliable, and accurate results.
Yet some scientists have serious reservations.
Since the testing doesn't prove anything and has not been scientifically or medically shown to detect or deter or prevent drug abuse, nor do the results of any urine test indicate impaired performance by drugs, then my feeling is that the tests should never be done in the first place.
The initial test is said to be about 70% accurate, the second test about 99%. With more than 1 million federal workers holding sensitive jobs expected to take the tests, statistically, thousands still face the risk of being falsely accused of taking drugs. Tim O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Taking a look ahead at the weekend news calendar, the American Medical Association Leadership Conference is being held this weekend in Chicago. Among the topics, physicians' self-regulation. There will be huge parades in New Orleans this weekend as the city gears up for Mardi Gras March 3rd. The annual Birkenbeiner cross-country ski race is being held tomorrow in Hayward, Wisconsin. The event attracts the largest field of racers in the U.S. And this evening on World News Tonight, Peter Jennings profiles the person of the week. Tomorrow on the Health Show with Kathleen Sullivan, detecting Alzheimer's disease before it strikes. Check local listing for the time in your area. Pope John Paul II is visiting the United States this coming summer. In the San Francisco area, Roman Catholic officials created an uproar by trying to auction off television coverage of the Pope's visit. More from Tony Russomanno of station KGO in San Francisco.
The Pope will say Mass to 100,000 people at a racetrack when he visits Monterey next September. Construction of news media facilities alone is expected to cost the small Monterey diocese $400,000. Church officials wanted to recoup that cost by selling exclusive live broadcast rights to the highest bidder. But after 2 weeks of intense criticism that the diocese was attempting to sell the Pope, the church backed down.
In retrospect, considering the coverage that has been given and the unfortunate circumstances that this has escalated, perhaps it was not in our best interest to propose it in the way it was done.
The diocese said it was tabling the bidding, but not killing it. Local TV and radio stations are now being asked to suggest their own money-raising ideas. The diocese will also ask local parishes to make a donation for the privilege of distributing tickets to the Mass, but the tickets themselves will not be sold.
They are free, free, free. Now, if you choose to interpret that we are going to parishes to ask them to raise funds to defray costs of papal visit, that's your own interpretation. We are not charging the individual, and they will get those tickets free.
No one will get tickets until 2 or 3 days before the Mass to cut down on counterfeiting and scalping. Tony Russomanno for ABC News, Monterey, California.
That's the news to the hour. More news, of course, at 8:30. David and Spencer?
All right, Jed. Thank you, Jed. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Spencer. What's the it's the weather like? Good morning, Jed. Good morning. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm not gone yet. Look. This is not hard. Look, get down here. Look, this is not what this Piscopo makes a living at this. He actually makes a living at this.
I love this guy. I really do.
Is Jed still there? Jed, are you still there?
Yes. Yes.
Jed, throw back to me again. What did you just throw back to me again? Let me show you. I can do Piscopo.
David, in real life, there is no take two. But
yeah, we don't live in the real life, Jed. but give it to me. Throw it back to us again.
Just for you. Okay, just for you. That's our news at 8. There will be more news at 8:30. Good morning, David.
Morning.
Morning, Jed. What's the jet stream look like this morning?
You never sounded better. You know, I came to talk you out of leaving, man. It's the best character in my act. You can't I'm done.
Hey, listen, I'm gone, man. You can have it. Here, sit right down. You got it, man. Piscopo.
I think it's time for weather.
Spence, what's the weather like?
All right, David.
Good morning.
We're going to go talk about some clouds now, David. This is great. Well, I tell you, I love these guys that do impressions. I'll tell you, I got no respect, you know. It's a rough life. I told my kid about the birds and the bees. He told me about my wife and the butcher. Okay, we got clouds here in the central part of the nation today. It's going to be stormy over much of the plains and the Rockies. Texas is getting pounded. Let's close in on that region and see what's going on. What we have here is a flow of moisture coming off the Gulf, and of course the colder air coming down from the north, meeting that moisture. The result is a lot of snowfall over the southern Rockies is pushing into the plains right now. Here's a dividing line between the rain and the snow. Snow mainly over the Rockies, pushing into Kansas and Oklahoma right now, snow in northwestern Texas. Heavy rain, thunderstorms in southeastern Texas, pushing into Louisiana. That's a look at the national weather picture. Here's what's happening in your hometown area.
Good morning, I'm Jeff Gilbert in the 21 Alive newsroom. Today we can expect increasing cloudiness, mild, high 41. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cold, low 25. And for tomorrow, continued cloudy skies, high at 37.
And that's the weather for this half hour, I think. Joan?
All right, thank you, Spencer. Right now it's 11 minutes after. Irma Bombeck is acutely aware of the power of television to inform and to educate. She also understands that with all that power comes a special responsibility.
I don't think David has any idea of the influence that he's had on so many people whom he's never seen before. Okay, case in point. Last summer, I was on a ship, and we were off the coast of Alaska, and we were, I don't know, somewhere in the Bering Sea, and we looked over, and here's this island called the Pribilof Islands, and the ship docked there, and there was nothing there except about 500 people and maybe a few seal and a lot of David Hartman fans. I mean, the man was their idol, he was their role model, he was their prime example. Even the priest, who was an Orthodox priest, said to me, "Do you know that I learned all of my English from David Hartman?" He said the first words I ever spoke were, "We'll be right back," and "Go out and make it a good day." Now, isn't that a cute little story? I mean, David, there's no doubt about it. David is a great example for everyone. But I just got to thinking, wouldn't it really be weird if one day in New York, a whole group of Aleuts appeared from the Pribilof Islands, dressed the way David Hartman dresses, and thinking that the rest of the world dresses this way?
What are you looking at?
The suit.
Do you like it?
This is a highly individual suit. Could I see the lining? Just close it, Mallory, please. Oh, my.
Scary, isn't it? Hmm?
Irma, thank you for making the effort to be with us this morning on this special day for me. One of the most rewarding aspects of my work has been meeting and talking every day with some of the most creative performers of our time.
I was the best-looking thing that ever lived.
You have done it. You have done it big. You got there. You have stayed there. What does it take?
Discipline, no spoiling, no red carpets. Just
do it.
Do it.
I realize that there's a finite limit to my career. I can't go on and on and on forever. I won't be popular forever. The game is to keep going for as long as you can and remain dignified.
I've been very careful in each choice of film. I mean, I can't worry about that. I mean, as I said, I believe what is going to happen is going to happen. And I'm just, you know, do my best and I enjoy what I do. I mean, there's always going to be something there that I can do. I just believe that. I don't believe it's going to go away.
Go away.
In my memory, I took my feelings of myself off of what girls thought of me. And up until puberty, I was considered cute by the girls that were my age. Isn't he cute? Isn't he? Look how little and cute he is. And suddenly, when when pubic hair came in, and underarm hair, and serious stuff like breasts and certain connotations of maturity, then my shortness and my cuteness was no longer in vogue.
I'm definitely American now, and I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty cynical. Sorry about that.
Eat cheeseburgers and French fries.
I eat junk food too.
It's true, that phrase that they said life begins at 40, because in a way things become, they're put into priorities, into proportion, you know. Of course, I get crazy too myself. I don't know. Sometimes I act like a nincompoop and a child, and sometimes when I'm lucky, you know, I act like a grown-up woman.
And what is it like to get old? I mean, wait till somebody asks you that. I mean, how can one explain? What is it like to have a broken ankle?
What is good about getting old, Miss Hepburn?
Nothing.
So many men in this country are afraid to cry. You're one, you're not afraid.
I'm not afraid, I can't help it.
I mean, you can't, yeah, you can't help it.
Last weekend in Washington, D.C., I was one of 5 being honored at the Kennedy Center in one of the most emotional nights I've ever been through, and all I could think of was, I wish my mother and father, my sisters were there.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Oh, boy.
Just think of all those opportunities you've had to talk to all those people. It's just incredible,
It's a privilege. It's a privilege.
We're going to take a moment right now to remember when David joined a group of cowhands on a cattle drive. Here's a little brief reminder.
This is one of the best 24 hours I ever spent. A day in another place, a place to feel aching muscles, warm fall winds, a place to hear yelps and whistles, coyote howls and slapping leather, moaning cows. Mama finds your calf, calf finds your mama. A place to breathe, to be in awe. It's humbling. You want to save it, hang on to it, take it home, but you can't.
Now, space-age technology comes to home heating. The unique Lennox Pulse gas furnace. It uses less gas to cut your heating costs.
Take it from Dave Lennox. Your Lennox dealer has the right pulse for you.
Attaboy, Dave.
I'm Les Hartman of Hartman Brothers. If you're in the need of a contractor with the capabilities to resolve your heating, cooling, service or distribution problems, we can do it. We're committed to quality systems and superior service.
Hartman Brothers and Lennox, leaders in the industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Gibson Circus of Savings, now at your hometown Gibson appliance dealer. Don't miss the fantastic array of values on selected Gibson refrigerators, freezers, washer-dryers, ranges, and dishwashers. Come see the jumbo savings now, all under the big top at these Gibson dealers.
Farm and Home Center, Bern, Ron Sales and Service, Albion, Stuckey Furniture and Appliance, Monroe, Haver Furniture and Appliance, Sixville and Antwerp, and Jerry's Hardware and Appliance in Ligonier.
Save on good things to eat at Rogers. Get Rogers fresh bread, 4 16-ounce loaves for just $1. To make your sandwiches even better, or for salads, use Hellman's mayonnaise, regular or light, 32-ounce jar, a low $1.39 with coupon. Enjoy the price on regular Folgers coffee, 2-pound can, all grinds, only $4.99 with coupon. And don't miss the special on beef from Rogers, the meat people. USDA choice beef round steak, just $1.58 a pound. Now at Rogers Friendly Markets.
Only Wendy's can do chili like we do. Only Wendy's has taco salad and baked potatoes too. Only Wendy's and Wendy's fries.
Now for a limited time at Wendy's, get a carton fresh salad bar or taco salad for only $1.99.
Only you.
19 after. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale has been here with us on the program many times over the years, many memorable occasions. For over 50 years, he's had an enormous influence on millions of people and on his times. Dr. Peale has written 33 books, one very special book, of course, The Power of Positive Thinking. It's been translated into 40 languages, sold over 15 million copies. This is the 34th anniversary of the publication of The Power of Positive Thinking, and it is such a pleasure. Dr. Peale, thank you for joining us this morning. What did you think the impact would be when you wrote that book? It wasn't a big fat book, wasn't a long book. What did you think the impact would be and the influence would be of that book before it was published?
I don't know that I envisaged that at all, but I hoped that it would tell thousands upon thousands of young people that they had something in them which they could cultivate into great living if they would have the proper mental attitude, which I called the power of positive thinking.
All right, now you are going to publish, what, 5 million copies of a cut-down kind of version, a condensed version of this. For young people, what do you hope to accomplish with this now?
David, I happen to have a copy of it with me.
Well, golly, that comes as a surprise.
This is a condensed version done by Rick Cox of the Reader's Digest, probably the most expert condenser of books in the country. We want to put this in the hands of every high school student in the United States. So we printed 5 million copies, and we're ready to go back to the press for 10 million more. I've autographed this one to you, to David, with admiration and affection. God bless you always.
Oh, Dr. Peale, thank you. And you know how much your counsel and friendship has meant to me over these many, many years.
You know, David, I was thinking of about 12 years ago. You came into my office one day, and you were uncertain as to where your life was going, what your career was going to be. And I want to tell you that I told you at that time that you had rare talent and a marvelous personality, and that if you would just have the faith to believe that you were going to be led, you would be. And you agreed with that, and pretty soon along came Good Morning America, and that's the way it will be in the future for you.
Dr. Peale, thank you. And as I look forward, that's exactly my attitude. As you've just said, that this is a commencement, it's a beginning, to look forward to new things, new excitement, new challenge, and it's with the help and your guidance, among others, that I can look forward and not look back.
Well, you've just arrived at full maturity.
I'm getting it. Well, I'm not sure about that.
And the future is all ahead of you, and the future is yours.
Dr.
And
Peale,
America loves you, like I do.
thank you. Great to have you with us today. When we come back in our next half hour, former Presidents Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford. We'll be right back.
Top Value Mufflers opening shop number 4 in Georgetown Square, making Top Value the area's largest muffler service center. Wherever you are, you're a short drive from the quality and service that's made Top Value famous. Mufflers, complete exhaust systems, shocks, struts, leaf springs, rear coils. Top Value has them ready to install at a low, low price. Inspections and estimates free, of course. All work warranty. Top Value Muffler, North 3518 North Clinton, South 4304 South Anthony, East in Georgetown Square, and in Auburn across from the ACD Museum.
See all of these cars? If O'Daniel doesn't sell them this month, we're in double trouble. First with the tax man, then with the moving man. O'Daniel is moving to its new location in March, and we want to sell everything before we go. New cars, used cars, all makes and models. We're making doubly good deals on everything in stock. So save us from the tax man and the moving man, and save yourself a bundle on a great new car during our double trouble sale at O'Daniel Olds AMC Jeep Reno, just south of the Bluffton Road Bridge.
Keep your loan interest tax deductions with Summit Bank's Home Line.
If you act now, Summit Bank will pay your closing costs, a savings up to $200. Homeline allows you to borrow against the equity in your home to obtain the car, boat, RV, education, or vacation you want. And Homeline is still tax deductible. Save up to $200 in closing costs now before the offer ends. Homeline is available only at Summit Bank, member FDIC.
Growing old is sort of like building a rocking chair. If you're not attentive to detail, you could end up with a pretty bumpy ride. That's why every year I enroll in Life Care, a full year of ambulance service for just $49. Life Care, the smartest way to protect yourself against unexpected medical costs I know.
Join now for immediate coverage. Call 427-1380 and we'll send you an application. Or pick one up at these locations. Enroll now in Life Care. This is 21 Alive Newsroom with Ron Houston and Jeff Gilbert. Brought to you by Stellhorn 1 Hour Photo, the people who develop your pictures better.
And good morning to you. It is 8:25, Friday, February 20th. In the headlines this morning, Allen County Council approves a tax break for Tokheim.
And in the weather forecast, well, we're in for a mild day, but skies will become cloudy later on.
And topping our news at this hour, Tokheim Corporation has made some progress in their plans to build a new world headquarters complex. The County Council held a public hearing last night on the company's request that a portion of Perry Township be designated as an economic revitalization area. Council heard testimony for and against the granting of the tax abatements for the project. Following that, the council voted 5-0 in favor of the tax abatements. Low-income families in Fort Wayne will soon get some help with fix-up at home. The city of Fort Wayne says low-interest loans are available to those living in the city's sub-areas. A sub-area is where more than half the household incomes are less than 80% of the median average. Loans up to $7,500 are available. For an appointment, call the Housing Development Services at 427-1140. Longtime Allen County surveyor Bill Sweet is quitting after 22 years of service. Sweet will be 70 years old and told reporters yesterday he wanted to quit while the going was good. Sweet is best known for his work in avoiding drainage and flood problems here in Allen County. Sweet recommended as his successor Lewis Mocklin. By law, Republican caucus will be called within 30 days to choose his replacement. A medical research team at Indiana University has discovered a genetic link to Alzheimer's disease. Researchers have found that Alzheimer's is in a chromosome, the same one where Down syndrome is active, but not in the same area. 2 to 3% of those 65 and older get the memory disease. Tires being used as kindling created a thick cloud of black smoke over the city of Fort Wayne yesterday. North Hill Development is building an office and apartment complex at Coldwater and Wallen Roads, and Star Excavating of Bippus, Indiana, is doing the burning at the site. The burning of the tires violates the air pollution control regulations. Officials informed Star to stop its burning, and the company could face further action as a result. Jeff?
Well, partly cloudy skies right now at the airport, 18 degrees. The forecast when we return.
We ask customers, why always Stellhorn Photo for their film processing?
I bring all my film to Stellhorn Photo. They're the friendliest people.
I look forward to coming here. They make me happy.
I bring all my film to Stellhorn Photo. The people are the friendliest. They make me feel happy.
Friendly people at Stellhorn, and that's important to me.
Try Stellhorn Photo.
Stellhorn Photo.
Well, we are the cool spot here in Fort Wayne this hour, 18 degrees. Temperatures begin to warm slightly, but cloud cover too as you go farther south in the state. Right now, Evansville reporting 31 degrees and fog. A lot of cloudiness well to our south, but for today, the northern half of the state should see a mostly sunny day, but a few clouds by afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast then for today. Increasing cloudiness, mild high of about 41 degrees. And then for tonight, under mostly cloudy skies, our low will dip down to about 25. And then for tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day as well, high about 37. And then the extended forecast looks like this. Sunday, we bring in a slight chance of snow. Monday and Tuesday then look like pretty good days. And by Tuesday, highs in the upper 30s.
That's it for us. We'll return at 12 noon.
This has been 21 Alive Newsroom with Ron Houston and Jeff Gilbert. Brought to you by Stellhorn 1 Hour Photo, the people who develop your pictures better.
Every time we sell a new '87 Pontiac, we blow a horn.
And right now, we'd like to blow our horn on the best deal yet. At Jim Boswick Pontiac, you can get up to a $1,200 cash rebate and save up to $875 on option packages. Plus, receive Pontiac's increased powertrain warranty, 6 years, 60,000 miles. That's not all. Get Pontiac's corrosion warranty. Imagine 6 years or 100,000 miles. Huge savings, extended warranties this week at Jim Boswick Pontiac, downtown Main and Bar.
My carpet inventory is the biggest in the world, but it's gotten out of hand, out of control. We've duplicated too much, waited too long. Right now, till Saturday, I'm giving carpet discounts, price cuts, giveaways like this city's never seen. And that's only part of it. At this crucial time, our carpet manufacturers are offering extra bonus coupons at every New York Carpet World store. You can save hundreds of dollars more. Carpet prices already slashed, plus in-store bonus coupons only till our doors close Saturday. Hurry to New York Carpet World.
8:30. David Hartman, Joan London, my first flying lesson. Look at that. From
one
Joe
of the
Engel.
wonderful gifts of today.
Cup mug with a airplane stick. A few minutes. Two former presidents of the United States are going to join us, President Carter and President Ford.
And from Hollywood, Chantal will be here to hand-deliver an unusual kind of greeting card, a video card for David. Also in this half hour, we will introduce you to Charlie Gibson. Formally, he will be my partner, of course, as of Monday. Right now, though, it is 8:30, and Jed Duval has the news for us. Jed, good morning.
Good morning, Joan. David, good morning, everyone. Former National Security Advisor Robert McFarlane reportedly has told the Tower Commission he helped prepare an inaccurate White House chronology of Iran arms deals to hide President Reagan's role in initiating those sales. Commission members interviewed McFarlane in his hospital room, where he is recovering from a suicide attempt. The Washington Post says former White House aide Oliver North gave Iran secret U.S. intelligence that was forbidden to all foreign nations. One source told the paper North was running his own covert operation within the authorized covert operation. New York Governor Mario Cuomo will not seek the presidential nomination in 1988. Cuomo says the Democratic Party offers a number of presidential candidates capable of leading the nation, and he will not add his name to that number. The governor says his decision is best for his family, state, and party. The family of a New York woman who died a year ago after taking contaminated Tylenol capsules has filed a $94.5 million lawsuit against the drug's maker and the chain that sold it. The family of Diane Elsroth says seals on the bottles were inadequate to prevent tampering. And medical researchers are reporting a major break in efforts to discover the cause of Alzheimer's disease. George Strait reports.
People at risk. Scientists in Boston have found that Alzheimer's is caused by a genetic defect. They've discovered an area on a specific chromosome that causes the disease and a gene within that area that causes the formation of a plaque-like substance that covers parts of the brains of Alzheimer's patients. It's this plaque which is associated with their slow deterioration.
I think these findings are a real breakthrough. And now we can put this kind of research on a fast track.
The potential breakthrough is that knowing where the genetic defect is means prenatal and other screening tests can be devised. More than that, the discoveries mean the day of an effective treatment and cure for this devastating disease may be a little closer. George Strait, ABC News, Washington.
Finally, the mother and brother of jailed Turkish terrorist Mehmet Ali Agca were granted an unscheduled private audience with Pope John Paul II today. They asked the Pope to forgive Agca for his 1981 assassination attempt. The Pope replied, "I have already done so." That's our news to this hour. David and Spencer?
Yeah, thank you. It's 27 minutes before 9, and Spencer is our weather.
That's right. Oh, listen, I may not get a chance to be with you again on the air this morning. I just want to say that I have never met in my 16 years in television anyone who cares more about the product we put on the air or anyone who comes to the job better prepared than you, my friend.
Thank you.
And I think you've given new meaning to the word professionalism.
Thank you,
Good
Spencer.
luck.
I appreciate that.
All right, I mean that.
It is my pleasure.
All right.
Believe me. Thank you.
It'll be my pleasure in just a moment to
Show
give the
me,
complete weather.
You know, the old Streamo.
Brought to you by Nabisco, cream of wheat.
When it's cold and
rough outside. Try something warm and creamy inside. Cream of wheat hot cereal and instant mix and eat. Their smooth texture always lets the flavor come through. Two great ways to come in from the cold.
Time now for today's Outlook, and it is a messy one. Most of the nation will see some sunshine today, the far west, the northern plains, and the eastern part of the country. But here in the south central states, heavy snow in the southern Rockies ending, moving into the plains right now and pushing southeastward. Heavy rain will prevail over Texas today. Thunderstorms pushing into the lower Mississippi Valley, and conditions are right for some tornadoes to develop. Now, looking ahead to the weekend, Saturday will show this system splitting up. Come on, Saturday. Any old well, take my word for it. This system is going to split up tomorrow, and the rain will push eastward. And, oh, we're on Sunday already. And snow, there will be a small area of snow over the Rockies on Saturday. By Sunday, catching up with myself, another larger area of snow will have developed over the Rockies, another storm, and Texas will be wet again, but it'll be clearing out here in the southeastern states. That's a look at the weekend forecast. Here's what's happening today in your hometown area.
Good morning, I'm Jeff Gilbert in the 21 Alive newsroom. Today we can expect increasing cloudiness, mild, high 41. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy, not as cold, low 25. And for tomorrow, continued cloudy skies, high at 37.
8:35 now. One of David's most exotic and beautiful journeys that he shared with us was this one, to Africa and to the land of the gorillas.
There he is, 18 years old, 350 pounds of proud silverback. Sit a few feet away, and you don't need someone to tell you why they're worth saving. Look into those eyes. Less than 400 of you left, old fellow, but it's okay. You're coming back.
High above the Loire Valley is a castle that has enchanted travelers since the Middle Ages. But now travelers of all ages can be enchanted at the Hôtel de la Bretèche. But if you go there, remember, bring your nose for wine and your Visa card. Because you can't check out without a glass of Pouilly Fumé. And you can't check in with American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Good morning.
The day's looking new and bright.
It's Monday again.
And you're gonna start it right.
Traffic's tied up.
Cause there's Folgers for you that's decaffeinated too. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
A decaffeinated, and I'm waking up?
Nothing brightens your morning like Mountain Grown Folgers Decaffeinated. Mountain Grown coffee beans have more enticing aroma and richer flavor than any other kind.
Folgers so rich and good, the day starts like it should.
You know something? It's starting to look a lot better out there.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Decaffeinated.
Weight Watchers pepperoni pizza is always good news. So are the cheese, the sausage, and the deluxe combination. So how can there be any bad news?
Soon this street will be teeming with people, tasting exotic foods from all over the world.
Thank you. Is it good?
Good and spicy.
Now Anne is about to experience a problem that's universal.
I've got heartburn. Can you beat that?
As a matter of fact, I can.
Pepto for heartburn?
Sure. As Pepto coats, it soothes heartburn, as well as upset stomach and diarrhea.
I didn't know you could find us. I can't.
Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats, is the only one you need.
It is now 38 minutes after. One of the newest members of our Good Morning America family is Chantal, our Hollywood reporter. And this morning she is here with us in our studio in New York. It's nice to have you here with us.
Very, very cold here, folks.
How you handle it?
Hey, it's warmed up.
A tad. David, what you have in me today is a walking, talking, living, breathing card, if you will.
Keep talking.
You have a card from Hollywood. Lots and lots of people there love you. And what I have for you on tape is a message from all those people filled with goodbyes, but more importantly, lots of love.
We want to wish you all the luck in the world, and we love you.
And we're going to miss you, David.
We really are going to miss you.
We really are. We've been looking at you for a long time. Happiness to you.
Don't leave us, for God's sake, don't leave us. I don't know how to start the day without you.
Goodbye, David.
More rouge.
Have a nice out chorus, David, and thanks for the tune.
David, see ya. Sorry to hear you're leaving. I sure hope it's not to become an actor.
David, I want to say goodbye. I want to say goodbye at home, David.
I worked with that man. He did sound on a couple of pictures I've done in the past, and he did a wonderful job. You're going to have nothing but static with David gone.
I understand you have the 11-year itch. It's understandable. I wish you lots and lots and lots of success.
Oh, I wanted to say goodbye to David.
What a major decision. I don't know what to say, but I hope you can sleep late for the rest of your life. Bye.
David, I'm here to say goodbye to you. I'm going to miss you. I had this whole big thing planned. I had this big song, going away song, and with a band and all this thing planned. But look, the band didn't show up, Dave. The band didn't show up. I said, David Hartman's leaving, and they didn't show up. So just goodbye, Dave.
And I tell you, my friend, that's just a few. You are well loved in that community. Greatly loved.
Well, you know how many neat people are out there, and a lot of colleagues and friends, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. So answer Sally's question. How late are you going to sleep now?
Very late.
No,
No, David.
No, I'll get up and run. I know I'll be up running. I'm looking forward to that.
We could call you, give you a wake-up call.
Would you, Monday?
Absolutely.
5?
No problem. My pleasure.
5? Yeah, I'll bet.
Surprised
Thank
when
you.
I really do it. Okay.
Sure, she'll do it, too. My phone is going to ring. You wake up my children, you're in me. You know what I mean?
Chantal, thank you. We have occasionally made some show business history right here in this studio. For instance, there was the time that David and the 3 stars of the Jewel of the Nile and I got together to form an unusual quintet.
Yeah, and don't look back.
There you go. Nothing's gonna hold me back. Please don't sing in my ear, Michael. Rain coming.
Kathleen, I depend on you, Kathleen.
You Americans have all the luck. When I want the great chicken dishes of the world, I have to use my British passport. Your passport, however, is Tyson chicken entrees. Delicious international meals like Tyson chicken français. Incredibly sumptuous. And fortunately, Tyson prepares chicken in so many delicious ways. Tyson is the only passport you need for a world of great tastes. Waiter! No hurry.
Ooh, Alberto does it again.
With my European styling hairspray.
The ultra-fine mist sprays on evenly for super hold that won't let your styles go.
New Alberto European hairspray with ultra-fine mist.
For new super hold.
Don't be so mean to your hair, baby. Get hot. VO5 Hot Oil Treatment. 1 minute once a week to help undo the mean things you do every day. So hair looks healthy, radiant, ooh, hot. Get hot. VO5 Hot Oil.
Open it up, Dart.
Not so tough now, are you, Rocky? You dirty... Oh, hi, Father. Hey, what do you say?
Well, Rocky, it's almost time. Is there anything I can do?
Well, there is one thing, Father. I'd like to attend Highland's Midnight Madness sale. I hear the savings are incredible.
Don't give him the satisfaction, Warden.
You know good.
Warden, they are knocking 5 to 40% off everything.
Off everything? Well, I'll have to come along strictly in an official capacity.
Friday only. Get this Ultrex cassette deck with Dolby B&C noise reduction, just $68. And buy 6 JVC videotapes for $4.39 each. Get 2 tapes free from JVC. End cost $3.29.
Way to go, Rocky.
You show him, Rock. Hey, Rocky, could you pick me up a microwave? Sure, kid. Anything you want.
Highland's Midnight Madness Sale. Friday only. Noon till midnight.
It is now 8:43, and David's first 5 years with Good Morning America, Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter were our presidents during that time. And afterwards, David has had dozens of opportunities to talk with both men. Both are joining him again this morning. Mr. Carter is at his office in Plains, Georgia. Mr. Ford at his office in Palm Springs, California. David, go ahead.
Mr. President, good morning. Thanks for getting up.
David.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning. President Ford, looking at the shape of the world at the moment, here in recent few weeks, Mr. Gorbachev is talking about the democratization, the socialist democratization, whatever that means, in the Soviet Union. What are the opportunities right now for all of us in both countries, and what are the potential traps or dangers in what's going on right now?
We certainly should be, at least to a degree, encouraged by what we see Mr. Gorbachev doing as far as human rights. What he's doing is trying to improve the economy of the Soviet Union, the gestures that he seems to be making toward us for negotiations in nuclear weapon reduction. On the other hand, I think we have to be cautious and not be overwhelmed by a very clever, very skillful PR effort. It is important that we do everything we can to encourage truly democratization in the Soviet Union to the extent we can from the outside, and we certainly would benefit if we could have some really constructive negotiations on reducing the nuclear threshold. But we have to look at it from our personal point of view so that we don't get overly optimistic and make mistakes in the process. We must remember, David, that Mr. Gorbachev is a tough, skillful, articulate man who will be around here and will probably negotiate with 5 American presidents in his lifetime. So it's a tough, tough league out there, but let's at least give it an opportunity.
President Carter, the same question. What are the opportunities facing us right now, and what are the potential dangers, and how can we do something to make the most of it in our national interest?
Well, David, as is usually the case, I basically agree with what President Ford has just said. You don't know how much of it is factual, how much is tangible, and how much of it is just propaganda. But I think we ought to push to the limit to ascertain the answer to those kinds of questions. There are some tangible things there that give me some encouragement. One is that Gorbachev unilaterally stopped the testing of nuclear explosions for 18 months, hoping that we would respond, which we did not. Also, Gorbachev, as you know, has advocated very strongly the prohibition of any destructive weapons in space, and has insisted that, that all previously negotiated nuclear arms agreements like SALT II and so forth should be kept in effect. This is something to which we still have not responded favorably. So I think that we should take advantage of any opening, approve him before the court of world opinion. If he's just going through a farce or going through a propaganda effort, let that be exposed. But if he is sincere, to the extent that he is, then we ought to respond favorably. Also, I think the more that we do move toward a better relationship with the Soviet Union, the more likely he will be successful in his own effort in the Soviet Union, assuming it's sincere, to be successful. I'm sure there are a lot of right-wingers in the Soviet Union, as there are in our country and others, who will oppose any sort of democratization or openness. The final thought that I have is that the Chinese have been so successful in moving toward elements of free enterprise and more freedom of speech. Perhaps this has been something that the Soviets have observed very carefully, and Gorbachev sees this as a way to partially reconstruct the economic situation in his own country.
President Carter and President Ford, I'd like to take this brief opportunity to thank both of you over the years, not only for your appearances, certainly with us here on Good Morning America, to help us to understand what's been going on in our world so that we have a better understanding and can make what we hope are intelligent judgments about what you all have done in Washington. But I want to thank you also for your personal advice and counsel over the years when I've been faced with some daunting kind of challenges and needed information and guidance. I thank you gentlemen both very much.
Well, David, one of the...
All right, let's see. Who goes? Go ahead,
David,
President Ford.
May we say something as you go off the air relatively soon. Both Betty and I have really cherished our relationship with you, and we will be forever grateful for your visit out here to Palm Springs when you very thoughtfully and wonderfully dedicated or helped to dedicate the Betty Ford Center. Betty says to say hello, although by California time, she's not here to join me.
She's a smart one, right?
She said last night, tell David, good luck, goodbye, she loved you.
Mr. President, thank you both very much. President Carter?
David, one of the things you said that President Ford and I have given you a lot of good advice. One thing you didn't tell us how to do is how to get reelected.
Well, my job is to ask the questions, Mr. President, not to come up with answers.
Well, you know, you've been reelected, you might say, 10 times, being on 11 years, and President Ford and I never did learn that fight. I might say this morning, David, not only Rosa and I are very sad about the fact that we won't see you each day, but the whole town of Plains is kind of up in arms. And, you know, we have wonderful memories about being with you, but the most vivid memory in my mind right now is your relationship with my own mother.
Yeah.
She loved you so much. She used to say, he's the ugliest man I ever saw, but I love him, Jimmy, as much as I love you.
Boy, if that isn't vintage, Miss Lillian, I don't know what is.
And, you know, she knew a lot of famous people, but when we had the funeral for my mother at the little plain cemetery, and we looked around, there was one famous person who was there, and that was you. And the Carter family and the folks down in Plains will never forget your sensitivity and your humaneness and your love that we share with you.
President Carter, thank you to you and Mrs. Carter. And, of course, I remember your mother with great fondness and love. Thank you, Mr. President. President Ford, to you and Mrs. Ford, thank you, gentlemen, very much. And we'll be right back, 10 of.
My baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name, it's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day, and if you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-L-O-G-N-A.
If the name's Oscar Mayer, it's quality meat and no fillers, just the best that it can be.
How's that?
When your throat's awfully sore, Chloroseptic Spray relieves it awfully fast. How fast? So fast, when he starts to feel relief, we'll end this commercial.
Jellyfish swims faster than that.
Not with a clogged nose like this.
Try Sinex.
With Sinex Vapors, you feel better in 1 second. Plus, its strong decongestant keeps you breathing for hours. With Sinex, feeling better is a second away.
The Midwest Starving Artists are back and better than ever. This Sunday, choose from hundreds of beautiful original oil paintings and handcrafted wood frames, hand-picked for high quality and most under $40 each. That's right, most under $40. Many as low as $7. Plus, our new super quality decorator pieces, painted in mauves and blues, are sure to please. This is the art sale you've been waiting for, with quality, selection, and savings. The Midwest Starving Artists are back. Largest sale of the season, with fantastic selection. This Sunday only, noon to 4 p.m. at the Marriott Inn, Fort Wayne.
Bob Jackson's tax clearance is on. The 1987 Taurus luxury sedan has been discounted at $10,999, equipped with air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and much more. The 1987 Escort, the world's most popular car. You can own one for $143.10 a month and get $600 cash back directly from Ford to you. Bob Jackson can save you thousands this week. Bob Jackson Ford, East US 24 and 30 New Haven, and North 320 Coliseum Boulevard. You can't buy for less anywhere else.
Now 52 minutes after, all morning long. We've been talking with people who have visited with David and the rest of us here over the years. David's moving now to a lot of new things, and a new world is opening for us here at Good Morning America as well, as Charlie Gibson joins us to continue our daily adventure.
On your plate, Mr. Gibson.
Listen, after watching all these tributes, watching all these tributes, stay, will you please? Don't do this to me.
Listen, what are you looking forward to most?
I don't know. New York's going to be fun. This will be fun. I look forward to it. And the way people have reacted today, obvious that you get through to people, and it will be fun.
Well, what do you like to do in your free time most?
Run.
Run?
Yep.
All right.
You know that.
It just so happens. That's why I asked. That's why I asked. I have got for you something you need. This is the running map for Central Park. And there it is, all the mileages, all the times, all the meters, and you're going to enjoy
I won't be able to run in the morning,
around there making up questions. That's what you're going to do. Charlie?
Thank you. I have for you a broken alarm clock. I'll give that to you later.
And I have for you a Good Morning America coffee cup. That's for you, too. Charlie, good luck.
Thank you.
Have fun.
I'll need it.
We'll be right back after this.
That'll do it. Who wants grapefruit juice?
I'll pass.
It's good for you. It's great for dieting.
I know, but...
Lots of vitamin C? Yeah, but the taste? Here, try this. Ocean Spray Pink Grapefruit Juice Cocktail. It's tangy, smoother, sweeter.
This is grapefruit juice?
Uh-huh.
It's not bitter.
It's Ocean Spray Pink Grapefruit Juice Cocktail. And it's not just good for you, it's good. Ocean Spray good.
My friends really embarrassed me about my cat's litter box odor last night. Here she comes. Come on. Is it really that bad?
I needed something super effective, so I got this. New Glade Litter Fresh.
Just shake it on the litter. New anti-ammonia Litter Fresh eliminates litter box odor.
Huh. Did you give your cat away?
No way. I got New Glade Litter Fresh.
All right, I want to take my opportunity to thank you. I've actually worked with you 11 years.
That's right.
But 7 here.
Sitting in this chair.
Very, very frightened when I first came here, and you were very supportive.
Joan, good luck. Have a ball.
I made it through the whole morning without crying.
Listen, great. Thank you for everything.
Look at this. This is the second time I've gotten to do this kind of honor today. This is something that everybody at Cap Cities ABC wants you to have. I know that Pascal's one of your favorites, right?
You bet.
And this is a very special one for you because we all love you a lot.
Wild. Thank you.
Great.
And Pascal and ABC, thank you for that. That is really something. This great artist. See, now I would like to talk about Pascal's work. It is so wonderful, Joan.
But as usual, you don't have time to do that.
That's right. Because I got a couple of things I want to say. Joan, thank you very much. Thank you, each of you, for welcoming me into your homes for the past 11 years and 4 months. It has been such a pleasure. It has been such a privilege to have had the opportunity to bring you information on every conceivable subject of interest, information that I hope you have been able to use in some way to make your lives a little better. I hope I've gotten some answers to the questions you wanted asked. Obviously, I have not done this alone, not by a long shot. My deepest thanks go to those many people on our staff over the years who genuinely cared to provide you with information of the highest quality and have done everything in their power each day to make sure that we set it right with fairness and with good taste. Thank you, you special people on our staff here. To my on-air colleagues, each of whom has brought his or her own uniqueness to our program, thank you. This time couldn't have been more challenging or fulfilling for me personally. I have many warm friendships to take with me. I have learned so much about the world and the people in it. I've come to a powerful appreciation of how fortunate we are to live in America. I have a new understanding of the responsibility of being an American and how great our country can be if we expect and we demand much of ourselves and we work together. I am not retiring. Repeat, not retiring. I'm going to produce and host a number of primetime specials and other network television programs. The first, this coming September, a celebration of our freedom on the 200th anniversary of the Constitution. And there are other new and exciting challenges on my horizon as well. So, until I see you again, make it a really good day today.